in Igbo land, we have a culture that promotes achievement and excellence. While promoting this excellence and achievement, we also reward it. Consider that in Igbo culture, every year, a na-emebe ihe a na-akpọ diji to celebrate the person who is considered the best yam farmer. A na-enwe diochi, the person who is considered the best wine tapper. A na-enwe dinta, the person who is considered the best of this, the best of that, the best of this, the best of that, to encourage excellence. And we do this while maintaining our good names. Not what we see today, that people want to achieve this success by any means necessary. In the past, we don't achieve this success by any means necessary. We achieve this success while still making sure that we don't piece the codes of morality. Because if you trade your life on your way to the top, you cannot get your life back when you get there. That is why we have sayings like Nezia Fakego. We have sayings like Na Fade Makwe Swano of Yaza, Afadi Kenyi, Afadi Kawolo, Afadi Kugo, Aida Zambeku, because Mbeku is believed to be cunning. Aida Zogumengada, because that one is believed to change colors. Aizago, because we believe in the skills of a leopard. So while the Igbo man is chasing success and achievement as one of his life's principles, we still maintain that sanctity and respect for human life, that sanctity and respect for good name, because we still know that Nezia Fakego, money is very important. Money is worshipped by a lot of tribes. But in our culture, we have the saying that good name is better than all the riches in this world. And it has been demonstrated severally. Maybe one day I will demonstrate it in a folk tale for you so that you understand. Because some people will say, once you have money, good name will follow you. No. Even in this generation, when I was younger, it was worse. There are people in my time when I was younger that can be considered billionaires if they were alive. But in my community, they never had a single respect from anyone. They were treated like outsiders. They were treated like lepers simply because of the fact that those were the excuses. Now, there is one striking example of a man who has a hotel, he has car wash, he has a school, he has a film house. My community was the first to have a cinema hall, not even Asaba. People from Asaba were coming to my community, Ubuluku, to see movies. He has a disco hall. He has houses in every school where they do inter-house sports. He sponsors football competitions. Yet, people are scared of him because they don't know the source of his wealth, or they believe his wealth is contaminated because he's a traditional herbal medicine practitioner. People had respect for good name more than riches. And I believe it should be upheld because that is what the Igbo people are known for. If it is upheld in every community today, you will see that the spate of get rich quick syndrome will drop, because the people you are trying to impress will not be impressed. In the movie Scarface, when Tony Montana was looking to make a hell of money and go and take his mother and sister out of poverty, his mother asked him the crucial question, Tony, who have you killed? Do we still have such mothers today? So in Igbo culture, while we encourage achievement, personal growth, we also discouraged getting such wealth through lewd means, through killing, bloodletting, because blood is considered sacred. Through stealing, it is discouraged. So, we must bring back such values because there are lots of positives in them. We have seen now why so many Igbo people thrive abroad. You that is home, who even in your home, you don't visit your hometown. You are in Nigeria, probably in Umuahia. You are not from Umuahia, and you know it. You are from a community away from Umuahia. You in Asaba, you are not from Asaba. You are probably from Otulu, or Obolokiti, or Iseluku. But you cannot visit Iseluku because one man has told you that the people in Iseluku are witches and wizards. So you will not go home until there's a burial. Even marriages, you will try and organize a way to do it outside your village so that they will not kill you. But if there's a burial, you people will carry the corpse to go home and bury. We must change that attitude and imbibe what we, the Igbo people, are genuinely known for. We are known for community. So until you learn how to congregate with your omonna, where is we je? Yetia kanolu wa alu nebo isi bia. Obno uzo kwa alocha yesoriwe locha. Obno ego kwa atu yesoriwe twa. Nye obna we me yesoriwe me. That way, you have imbibed the community spirit. When you have imbibed this community spirit, even if you find yourself like our sister, who was not even born here. Imagine that she was born in Winnipeg. She was born in Winnipeg, in Canada. I'm talking about Uzoma Chioma Asawara, who is the Deputy Premier of Manitoba. Still, I saw a video of her with her omonna, boldly written there, omonna, dancing to Ogene music. If you cannot congregate with your brothers and sisters here in Nigeria, you will not learn to do so in London. No? I've known people who told me that all those Igbo association is just a show off, nothing else. It's not show off. They have a function. They have a role that they play in the society. A role that can save your life. A role that can save your life sometimes. Let me not paint a bad scenario, but death is inevitable. And we must pay it. So let me paint this scenario for you. What if you, who doesn't associate with your village people, you live in, where now? Let me find a city and give you. Let's say you live in Oslo, in Norway. And then suddenly, you die. It is your own money originally that would have contributed money, package your documents, fly you back home and bury you like Igbo people always do. But you don't have any relationship with them. Do you see the level of work you have left for your wife? If she cannot handle it, they will bury you in Oslo. That's it. And do a mock funeral for you back home here. That is the power of associating with your kinsmen. Please, if you're just joining us, this is a cultural forum where we promote the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people. My name is Prince Onwadene Mongozi Chukwuka, and today we are discussing why most Igbo immigrants succeed abroad. It is not a mistake. There's a reason why they succeed. And if you're just joining us, please give this video a thumbs up. Help it to rank better on the algorithm. It's very easy to give a video thumbs up by just double tapping on the video to give it thumbs up. In the Igbo traditional society, the success of every man is expected. You are expected to succeed. You are not expected to fail your chi. Every man has his ikenga. We even say that no funamu, no fuchiadeke. We believe every man has his chi. Ofunamu, mano fuchiadeke. Imagine that kind of talk. Some people will think that we are all created by the same God. No, it is not the same in Igbo land. In Igbo culture, we say, Ofunamu, mano fuchiadeke. Ofuchiadeke. I may have a different chi. My daughter has a different chi. My wife has a different chi. My brothers have different chi. So chi oye due, my own chi will guide me towards my path in life. Your own chi will guide you. There is no one overarching king drawing the ceiling of what every man should achieve. There's nobody that can dream and they say, you're too ambitious. No, turn it down or stone him to death for blasphemy or for treason. Every man is allowed that democracy. For we who are in the western side of Igbo land, there's a particular day of right boundary, a day when you can tell the king anything you like, as long as it is true. In fact, even if it is a rumor, he has no charge against you. That is during our Ine festival. That freedom of an Igbo man to express himself is fundamental to his success in life. Because when tomorrow he finds himself in a place where he needs to talk, you will always find one hand raised up. And that hand is from an Igbo person. That is why they were able to hold hands together in Dumba Creek and do the Igbo landing and march into the water and gave rise to the saying that death was better than bondage. And also the writings of Olaudah Equiano, he could have swallowed it. After all, he has purchased his own freedom. But still he said no. That Igbo blood in him was pushing him. Don't be a disgrace to the Igbo people. Don't be a disgrace to the Igbo nation. Anywhere you see them promoting Igbo culture, anything at all that is good about Igbo land, give it #1 priority. Stop giving those useless people priority. I've seen pages dedicated to taunting Ndi Igbo. I've seen a page of somebody whose videos is to say, if you calculate all the resources and wealth of Igbo people, Dangote will just buy it. Say, So there are people who still reason this way. What is the per capita income of his people? What is the per capita income of the Igbo people? At least every family is doing okay. Or most families are doing okay in Igbo land. Can you say the same from where he's coming from? One tree cannot make a forest. One tree cannot. We believe in that principle of Woyaya and Awanneya. With the crippled economy of Ndi Igbo in 1970, with the frustrations given to them in Lagos that every year they will demolish their market, the Igbo people have still continued to thrive. Every day, a young Igbo boy still picks up his bag. He's going to Lagos. He's going to Kano. He's going to Abuja. They are not going there to live inside the bush like these monsters are doing in our forests. They are going inside the middle of the town, the choicest place in town, to rent a house. That is who we are. We did not attain this by criminality. We attained it by hard work, sheer hard work and ingenuity. And I would like to encourage you to please support what we are doing. Support our work. Support what we are doing. There are several ways you can support us: by sharing our videos, by commenting on our videos, by subscribing to the channel if you are not yet subscribed. Any of these things you can do, or even sending us financial support. Anything you can do to promote the growth and sustainability of this platform, please do so without hesitation. Thanks for being a part of this live stream. I will see you in the later videos that I will be posting. But in the meantime, I'm inviting you to please hit the like button on this video. And also, if you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so that when we put out videos, you'll be among the first set of people to come on board. Thanks for being a part of this very live stream. I will see you in my subsequent videos. Bye.